Please come forward, Miss Stonebreaker.
Oh. Well, there you go. You're not going anywhere. Just beginning. Stand right here.
It's obviously rare enough that anybody spends 20 years in one company, but 20 years service in animal welfare is simply extraordinary. It is a very tough job. Yes, it's joys and laughter, but it's tears and heartbreak and heartache and a lot of hard work. And to do it for 20 years for this agency, I don't think we could possibly thank you enough.
My pleasure.
So, in an attempt to recognize your achievement, your accomplishment, and to thank you for your dedication and commitment, we are going to be hanging this plaque in the lobby for you. It's a model. So, to commemorate your service. And the SPCA would like to give you this gift, which you can certainly look at later. Now, there is one person here this evening, and I think it's the only person here this evening that can say she has been through every step of Pam's journey here since the day she was born. Please help me welcome Pam's daughter, Mary Stonebreaker. Okay, I swear I'm really, really nervous right now, just for the record. One of the first things I want to say is I want to thank everybody who came, but especially I want to thank everybody who put this together, Abigail, Alyssa, Mary Ellen, everybody who's taken a part in this, and for everybody who came out from a ways away. Got some family members here, which is fantastic. And like we were saying, you know, all the previous board members, anybody who came out here, really thank you for making this night much more special for me, as well as I know for my mom. Okay. So over the last few weeks, I bounced around what seemed like a million ways to start this speech, just for the record. I mean, how is it possible to put into words how much somebody really means to you? How is it possible to sum up in a few words or sentences how you feel like you couldn't breathe anymore if that person were in your life? Or how can you thank them for even giving you that life in the first place? Telling the world how you would feel lost without the one person who has stood by you through everything, and I mean everything, seems impossible. And to define one such person, my mother, is seeming even more threatening now that I'm actually up here. What I have noticed over the last few weeks is that my mother is very good at describing who she thinks she is and how she thinks she has made it here all these years. 20 years in one job is a monumental achievement that should be recognized. And 20 years at this job is no small feat. As we've also stated, she does everything around here. When it was first mentioned that my mom was celebrating 20 years here at the SPCA, the most common response was, how on earth has she made it this long without losing her sanity? And I was asking myself that same question up until 3 years ago when I started cleaning here. And she was the one who put it into words just recently without even realizing it. In the middle of a conversation about the shelter, she said to me, that is why I have been here for 20 years, because I'm doing it for the animals. I'm not doing it for myself. Little did she know that that short statement would carry through to the end and make me see her yet again in a whole new light. I have heard such unselfish words from her before, but nothing that struck me so hard as to render me speechless. But by watching and listening to her, I realized one major thing. She's right. Her love of animals began when she was so young, and it has carried her into her adult life, all while influencing hundreds of people, myself included. She has gained and lost numerous animals that reached out to her own heart, and she has seen hundreds, if not thousands, die because of the conditions we all know about. She started here at the Tompkins County SPCA when the main room was where adoptable animals were kept, chickens sometimes live in the garage, the apartment wasn't meant for kittens and offices. Her office used to be in what is now the Animal Control Office, and the adoption center wasn't even a thought, and no-kill wasn't even an everyday phrase. She was here when Callie wasn't even born yet, and it was Oreo who roamed freely in the shelter, as some of you may well remember. She was here when the logo was a silhouette of animals instead of the ever-famous cat and dog duo. When she started, I was small enough to hide under the tables and color during the board meetings, as some of you here may also well remember. She was here from the beginning and for the new start to this place. She may have more stories to tell, but has she ever told you that she cleaned here, or she cleaned for 7 years before even coming here? To say the least, she's been here through the good and the bad, all while struggling to raise me by herself. She has never said to me that she was disappointed because I wanted to work with kids instead of animals. And I have heard countless times how she thinks I'm going to be a great teacher and how proud of me she is. And she knows that no matter what, animals will always continue to be a significant part of my life, all because of her. For that alone, I would stand up here and thank her from the bottom of my heart. But I can't just thank her for that, and I don't think I'm quite the right person to thank her for making it here so long. What I can thank her for, though, is letting me grow up to be who I am, while still instilling in me the love of animals she holds so dearly, and for making her cry in front of everybody. It is because of her that I have learned what this place really means, what rescue really means, and how she has survived here for so long through everything. I encourage you all to learn from my mother as I have over the last 21 years. She has faced insurmountable difficulties and conquered them head on. And although she may not see things the same way I do, I hope she realizes just who she is to me and how honored I feel to have her as my mom. There are moments in a parent's life when they stand up and can admit just how proud they are of their children. But tonight, I would like to tell my mother how proud I am of her. I have one more thing. I promise not to bore you all with this speech that was recited 10,000 times. For those of you who don't know, I'm going for English education out at Fredonia, and one of the things that I have grown to love over the last year or so is poetry. And I took a class called Teaching Poetry last semester, and we had to do what's called an anthology, which is, 15 to 20 poems of a similar theme that go in together, and you write your own introduction and you write a poem yourself. And mine is titled Wandering Love, an anthology of poetry for all the homeless cats and dogs. But little does my mom know that I actually want to give it to her, because it is her inspiration. It is her inspiration, and she actually helped me put it together last year without realizing it.
Well, thanks again, everyone, for coming out this evening to make Pam's the first of many 20th anniversary commemorations. Please, before you go, take the opportunity to sign our guest book, which is over here on the table with the photographs. Please just jot a note for Pam to remember 20 years later when she's looking back and remembering how much fun it was 20 years ago. Thanks again very much for coming out this evening.